Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Tyler's Talk Football, sort of. My name is Q, and
I am Billy. Again, I'm really Viv, but I'm making a repeat visit this week as Billy. Now, as you all may know, I was in my blue Buffalo Bills Mafia wig last week. But you know what, sweetie?
what's that?
I'm feeling really fiery, kind of, I'm feeling really kind of, should I say a little hot because of just these major wins in the last few weeks of the Buffalo Bills. And so I had to represent something that's fiery and just on fire and bubbly. And that's why I'm choosing red today.
Yes.
Yes.
As you did, if you didn't know already.
Yes.
And first, I want to say I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, of course.
I had a happy Thanksgiving, but the results of some of the games were.
Yeah. You know, I just, before we get into that, I just have to say a little something to some of our folks out there. My husband was having a rough week. Poor thing. It was a tough week. It was a tough Thanksgiving day for one of us in the house. Wonder which one.
Yeah, we wonder which one. Okay. Well,
okay. But as we always do, and I know you always say enough of this, honey, when I'm talking about the Bills. Why do you do that when you always say enough of this?
Because
enough of this.
Spread it around.
We're going to spread it. Okay, sweetheart.
Yes.
In honor of episode 4.
Yes.
Episode 4, I have brought out my flute to match the red in my hair. It's just too much, right? It's too much. So today I want to tell our folks out there watching, I'm having a mimosa. I have champagne with OJ. Ooh, I said OJ. Orange juice. I'd rather say I don't want to say OJ. With orange juice. Okay. Mimosa. So toasting today to my lovely, handsome husband. And let's do this. Okay.
Yes, and coffee for me for.
Oh, yeah. When are you going to change it up? You
always
have coffee.
I will when I'm ready to change it.
I love mimosa. So here, this is so refreshing.
Okay. I'm sure.
It's bubbly and it's effervescent. Oops, I just spilled a little bit. Oh, boy. You see where this week is going? Okay. All right.
All right. Let's get.
All right.
Oh. Let's get started with last week's and part of this week's games.
Yes.
So we might as well start with the Buffalo Bills. And they did win 2 games. They won games that they needed to win.
Yes.
And of course,
yes.
And against opponents. Well, against opponents that really they should have beaten anyway. But we can't say.
Why do we
can't say
have that little?
I know.
I'm always with you. Why do you say so snarky?
I always throw that in there.
Why can't you just give out a full throttle? They did damn good. But we can't do that. You have to always say something that's kind of snarky.
Yeah,
but let me take
it. And I'm entitled to say that. But anyway.
I know because you're feeling a little low because of your loss.
Okay.
Let me just say this. Where do I begin?
Well.
The last few weeks, as we all know, we're not going to rehash the Buffalo Storm, all the challenges and all the circumstances with that. But it's phenomenal to have 2 wins back to back within 5 days. I think it was.
Yes.
Okay. Going through, crossing the bridge, going up the over the river and through the woods to grandmother's. Oh no, that's something else. But going up to Detroit. 2 wins in the winter in Detroit, as we said. I like to pronounce it Detroit. Yeah. Going up to Detroit, and that was incredible. They had a lot of challenges on their back. They had a snowstorm on their neck. It was. I see you looking at me.
I'm checking you out.
Okay, but really? Okay, but that was phenomenal, and it was those 2 back-to-back wins against the Browns. And then we had to win. Oh my goodness, we had to win last week, and it was nerve-wracking. It was
Detroit played you pretty well.
Oh, it was tough up until the last 2 minutes. I was pacing. I see this room, everybody. I was pacing around. I was running around. I stood up. I sat down. I stood up. I sat down. I was a nervous wreck. But you know what, hon? Before we get to your thing, I just had a few questions, as I always do.
Well, let me get into to the Giants, okay? The G-men, G-men.
Cheers to love and life.
And they had a rough week, to say the least.
Yeah, it was tough.
Okay, losing to Detroit.
Detroit
played them tough.
Yeah.
There's no mistake about it. they didn't have it together as much as we as fans would like them to. Um, and then
Yeah.
against our nemesis, our number
Ah,
one nemesis,
yeah.
the Dallas
Oh, they came after you.
Cowboys. And
Those Cowboys. Oh my goodness, those guys can play.
well, you know what?
Oh, jeez.
They controlled the game.
Yeah, they did.
They controlled the game, and and the, and the and the Giants didn't look as good as they normally look, but of course it was a tough game, tough 2 losses.
Yeah.
Now they're in the third. Now they're in the third place,
Oh,
behind
how
Philly
how quickly things turn around. Sad.
and Dallas, but they will always bounce back as my G-men do.
Mm.
And you know, the next week, I mean, Sunday, they're not playing today, obviously.
Yeah, isn't that
And neither
ironic
is
how
Buffalo.
both of us?
How both teams are not playing today.
I just thought that was so ironic that on Turkey Day, the Mafia, the G-men played, and then today we have a. Is it considered a bye?
No, it's not considered a bye. They just played earlier in the week.
Okay, so we
because
let the
this
guys
is
get
week
rest.
12.
Yes,
and
yes.
it starts on a Thursday.
Yes,
and
yes.
so basically, you know, we have Sunday's games and we have Monday night game.
Yes.
But was there something that you wanted to ask me about?
Well,
or talk about
quickly. So many quickly. But that's like asking the Niagara Falls to stop falling.
Yeah.
I gotta talk. I can't. You can't stop this. You can't stop this train. Okay, but I wanted to share my new T-shirt.
Oh, yes. 716.
716.
For those who don't know.
Now for my Mafia, we all know what that is. It's the area code. 716. Wonderful area code for Buffalo, New York. It's been the area code as long as I've been alive. And it's just incredible. Of course, it's across the Buffalo. I mean, you think of Buffalo Bills. So 716 representing Buffalo, New York.
Okay, so much for that area code.
Do you like it?
Yes, I do like the shirt. Very much.
You notice how I'm trying to match the hair with the
red? Yes, I did notice that.
And I'm trying to do my little bracelet.
Oh, you're all color coordinated today.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. You look great.
Thank you.
You look great.
And as well as you do.
Oh, thank you very much. Anyway.
I like the turtle. Yes. Oh.
A little something.
Turtle, yes.
All right.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. But I had a number of questions for you, sweetheart. On Turkey Day, why is it that it's always Dallas and Detroit? They're always the home.
Okay, this goes back. This goes back many, many years.
Yeah.
To the ownership.
As the home teams.
Yes, as the home teams.
Yes.
To the ownership back then. Basically, both teams had big crowds then. They were everyone's favorite games. And so the owner of Detroit at the time, and I think Detroit goes much further back than Dallas, he basically offered to always play on Thanksgiving. He thought that it would be nice for the Detroit area people, the fans, to have that game. And the NFL went along with it at the time. And it was a tradition that Detroit will always play on Thanksgiving.
Until the end of time?
No, I can't tell you that.
Well, I mean, to the end of the time. I think it's a bit unfair.
First of all,
I'll tell you why.
In the time. No, you're not going to tell me why. In the time. Okay, it's in the time.
I have an opinion.
But you already asked me, and I'm telling you. Okay, yep. Let's go on to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Tex Schramm, who used to be owner of the Dallas Cowboys quite some time ago, I think they started their tradition in the 60s.
Oh, gee.
And, of course, they had big team. Dallas was very, very popular at the time. So they worked their own deal with the NFL to say, okay, Dallas, we will gladly play on Thanksgiving Day, every Thanksgiving, for as long as the NFL will have them. And that goes with Detroit as well.
Yeah.
So, there you have it in a nutshell. I mean, if you really want, even more details, just look it up.
Well, no, but I just have a few things, a few thoughts, a few observations, if I may. I remember, even though once again, I'm sure you're surprised at my knowledge base of football.
Yes,
but it's getting better. Okay,
yes, it's getting
better.
I
remember back in the day watching the Cowboys, and I think the coach was Tom Landry, correct?
Yeah, he was a coach.
And I remember him because he used to wear a cute little hat.
Yeah,
like a little fedora. Yes, have a look at Tom. His little suit on, everything. But they had quite the reputation. But I just think that it's a bit unfair, and I'll tell you why, even though you didn't ask me. It's a holiday.
Yes.
Okay, so those the poor Dallas Cowboys team and the Detroit Lions, they can't have dinner until after the game.
Yeah.
Now, what I really think they should go all the way around. It's not right. And when our the day when our Josh and Diggs and the Bills did fantastic. I hate to keep bringing.
But you know
It
what?
was a good holiday for me. But they had a big piece of turkey leg at the end of the game. Now that affects their digestion. When you eat, this is my nursing coming out, I can't help it. When you eat late at night, it takes longer for the food to digest, and
first of all, they're not eating late at night.
Well, I saw them grab a big turkey
Oh,
leg.
yeah, you took one bite on camera.
Well, why would you want to have dinner on the field?
No, you're not going to have
it's
dinner
not
on the
right,
field.
and I think we should. I'm going to start a petition.
Guess what? That petition will go nowhere.
No, okay, I'm done.
Very quickly.
Okay, I'm done.
It will go nowhere because you know what? As anything else, there's always an incentive to play on these certain days.
Do they get paid extra for holidays?
Well, I said incentive. Now, you can work that any way you want to, but
now I never thought about that, honey.
And that's why I'm here.
I never thought that they're getting paid to play on the holiday.
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay, so what else do you have here?
Well, I know
Before
we're going
we talk about
I know we're going to do some
upcoming games
recaps
and the league
and let's we want to say to you guys, even though we're Giants and Bills, we're trying to spread it around the league because we know we're trying to get.
And I'll get to that.
Okay. But I just had a question about.
Yes.
About. This is refreshing.
Yes.
Oh,
so is my coffee.
I meant to tell you, when I was at Home Goods last week, I knew it's gonna. I love mimosas, and I found the cutest little ice cube tray that it's like little tiny ice cubes that just plunk, and it's just so cute. It's just, I just okay.
How many people you know?
It was adorable. I mean, I have ice cubes in my mimosa, and it is just so refreshing, so effervescent.
It's refreshing for you. That's wonderful.
Like my hair. Okay, this is another question I have. I have so many questions, and we have so little time. I have so many curiosities about the world and about life and about experiences, and it must come out. If this doesn't come out, I just explode. Hun.
Yes.
I was watching our Bills and all the games. We watched 3 games on Thanksgiving Day, and it was just lovely. Nephew Ronnie came over. Lovely day. Now, I'm not going to mean no disrespect, right? Let me say that for. Are you listening?
Oh,
you look like you were away somewhere.
No, I'm right here.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Come back. Okay.
I'm right here.
And so, why? I mean, this may sound distasteful, and it's a disclaimer. I don't mean no harm. Why are those the guys that protect my Josh? They're huge. I've never seen such big. I mean, and we all put on weight. I'm not being disrespectful to anybody. Listen, I could lose some pounds myself. Okay, but I ain't no linebacker. How come these young men who are defending the linebackers, defending Josh, just walls of weight, just like burgers? I'm concerned. You know why? Because I worry about hypertension. I worry about cardiac disease. These are big. They're humongous.
Let me cut you off.
They need a nutritionist on the team.
Let me cut you off.
They need a smoothie now and then myself, or juicing or something.
For 1 second.
I don't know. I'm concerned.
Okay. All right. Here we go. First of all, the linebackers do not protect Josh. Linebackers play defense. They're the ones who are trying to get after Josh. The individuals that protect Josh are the offensive linemen. Now, offensive linemen average between 300 and 350 pounds.
This is too much weight.
Hold it. That's just the way it is right now. And they do look like they've eaten a steak or 2 or 3, but at the same time, that is the NFL. That's the position. These offensive tackles, these offensive guards, the center. These and the tight end at times, they will protect Josh, okay, as best they can.
Yes,
and we want that. Sometimes they're successful, and sometimes they're not. But Josh is a pretty good quarterback, and he gets kind of around these people. Okay, but I just want you to know that.
But do they make them eat more food?
I understand. They don't make them eat more food.
Is that part of their contract?
No, it's not part of the contract.
I mean, I'm concerned.
When you're that big. Sometimes you
300, 400
eat
pounds.
a
How can you
little
run
bit
that?
more just to sustain.
But is it part of the contract when they're
I
recruited to
said
say
it is not part of the
to eat
contract.
steaks and burgers or
I said
carnivores?
it is not part of the
Well,
contract.
I
And you're
just
not going
don't.
to get it in the nutritionists that do, and they're hired by the NFL.
Well, I'm just making
Well,
it.
let me finish my
Yeah,
statement,
yeah.
please. There are nutritionists who are hired
A
by the
little testy
NFL.
today since we
Well,
lost that
I'm
game.
trying
There's
to
a kind of little
slow you
test.
down a little
Oh, you're a
bit.
little testing since
Slow your
Thanksgiving.
roll. Okay. These nutritionists make sure that you know beyond the 350 or the 360 or the 370, you're not going to see a 400-pound individual playing football in the NFL. But I'm telling you, but they do get them down to a certain amount, and they have to be that size because there's big men playing big men. Okay, and that's just the way it is. So let's move on. Let's move on to another subject.
But okay,
I want to move on to the recaps.
But you know, speaking of these
shortcut around
linebackers
the
and
NFL.
speaking of these big guys, I remember, hon, back in the day, I was watching a Chicago Bears game, I believe it was. This was, I don't know, 70s, 80s. I don't even remember the year.
You were watching a Chicago Bears game.
Yeah, on the way trying to get to another channel.
Sure.
And I don't know which year, which decade. They're all just flying by now, like just flying by like the wind. 80s, 90s, 70s, 60s. I don't know. But this guy was on it. He's a Chicago Bears guy, right? And I thought it was a bit disrespectful even back then when I didn't know as much as I know now about football. They called him the refrigerator. Oh, now I think that's just a pretty low. I mean, I think Richard Refrigerator Perry, was that his name or something? It was Richard Perry. We can look it up. Nice young man, lovely personality. Refrigerator. And he had a lot of endorsements, but they called him the refrigerator. Yes, they did. Now, let me tell you something, folks. Okay, listen to me. Get close. You call me refrigerator, we gonna have a problem. Okay, I don't want to be called no refrigerator.
Well, you are refrigerator.
Who wants to be called an appliance?
Well,
I just think that's so disrespectful. I'm sorry. If you call me an appliance, I'm sorry. I swear.
You know what? You don't have to worry about that.
Let me kiss.
Okay, you're beautiful. Okay. Kiss all that red lipstick. Okay. But refrigerator, like anything else, they are clever nicknames in the NFL.
And do you want to be called an appliance?
Well, you know what? If I was making appliance money, it would be a different thing.
Okay, case in point. Hey, that's a good. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Go.
Okay, go.
That's all let's do it. Yeah. All right, folks. It's time for a little segment called A Shortcut Around the NFL. Yes. And I want to get into, right now, some of the division leaders and all the division leaders. And we're going to talk about some of the key matchups.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about every game, every team, because it's not, frankly, it's not worth it.
Oh, that wasn't nice.
Wait. It was nice enough.
Oh, it's
it's only a 20-minute show.
But there's somebody's son or husband or brother. That's what I always think about.
They'll live with it. They'll get the NFL Red Zone. They'll get some kind of a dish network or whatever. They will get to the games somehow, some way to see their loved ones. All right. So, division leaders.
Yes.
Okay.
Who are they, honey?
I'll tell you. Give me a second. I'll tell you.
So testy today.
No. Let me finish. Thank you. And the NFC, of course, Philadelphia, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and San Francisco and Seattle are tied.
Okay.
Now, Philly, of course, I think is going to be one of the first teams to basically make the playoffs. Okay, they will be one of the teams, along with maybe Kansas City and maybe Minnesota, who will make the playoffs. And good for them because they have the best records in the league.
Who, Philly?
Philly, Kansas City, and Minnesota.
Wow.
Okay,
good for them.
But for the NFC, is Philadelphia, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and San Francisco and Seattle are tied. Those are the two surprises there in the West.
Yeah.
But Tampa Bay should be ahead of the division, but they only have a 500 record. And having a 500 record, they have to worry about Atlanta, who's right behind them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's the way it is. If you're a division leader, you will make the playoffs based on that. And if you come ahead of everyone else in your division. And Tampa Bay at 5-5, well, it's not much of a record because there are other teams in other divisions with a better record. But since Tampa Bay leads the division, they will get an automatic bid. I'm not through yet. Let's go on to the AFC. Now, the AFC, Buffalo, Baltimore, Tennessee, and, of course, Kansas City. Now, these teams are, Buffalo is half game ahead. I think a game and a half game ahead of Miami.
Yes.
Okay, and so good for them.
Who we're going to play again back in Buffalo. We're going to show them
we're
the
gonna
way
show.
they treated us on that
We're
hot field that day.
You were going to
Come to our town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Karma.
Yes. Well, you know what? That's going to be a very good game, by the way.
Yeah.
And of course,
They put
in that division, you'll have the New England Patriots, the patty cakes,
Yes.
and of course, the New York Jets, who are, by the way, switching quarterbacks.
Are they?
Yeah, they just told
Today?
For their game. Yes,
wow.
The starting quarterback, poor Zach Wilson, was asked to sit your butt down.
Oh, because they're losing. Well, they were doing
well, but Zach needs, as the coach would say, needs better fundamentals.
Oh, and that's code word. Code word.
Code word.
Code word.
Code word.
Code word for it.
What's that?
You're not doing a good job.
Oh, not doing a good job. But you know what? The franchise went after him.
Yeah.
They made him the number 2 pick.
Yeah, they did.
I never knew why, but then again, I'm not a Jet fan, so Jet fans have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Baltimore, and that's your cousin
team.
Cousin
Petey Parker.
That's right.
Sweet Pete.
Yeah, Sweet Pete. Okay, they're in second. I'm sorry, they're in first place in their division.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes, they're in first place in their division, and they're doing well. We kind of expected them to be there. So
yeah, they're very good.
Every game's an exciting game with them. They live and die with Lamar. And,
yes.
But they're doing well.
Nice young man.
Kudos to them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Tennessee and is ahead of their division, and they're expected to be there. They're a really tough team, and of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. One of your sons.
Nemesis. But
then the nemesis.
Oh,
but he's not as big as a son as Josh, right?
Well, Josh is my third son.
And so what is Patrick Mahomes?
My fourth.
Okay.
My fourth. I would just love to see us. You know, it'd be a great Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this. Us against Patrick.
No, that cannot be a Super Bowl.
Oh, I would be
in
there.
The same conference. They're both in the AFC.
So they would never play. Buffalo would never play against
Kansas City.
Well, we played him last year.
We played him in the championship game.
Oh,
not the Super Bowl.
Well, you live and you learn in this life.
Yes, you do.
I didn't know that.
Well, see, that's why I'm here again. All right, everybody. Let's talk about key matchups today before we get into our last segment. Key matchups today. Tampa Bay at Cleveland.
Oh, that's
now,
good.
I'm only saying this a key matchup because Tampa Bay is only 5-5. And even though Cleveland is not in their division, they have to win this game just to stay ahead of Atlanta, who is 5-6. So you do the math.
Yeah.
Tampa has to win.
Yeah.
Another one is Vegas at Seattle. And the reason why I said Vegas at Seattle and New Orleans at San Francisco is only because Seattle and San Francisco are tied at the top of their division. So any teams they play, both those teams have to win to try to stay on top of each other. And that's basically it. They both have to win. And so as far as all the other teams and the games, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I guess the teams that should win need to win. And the teams that are nowhere or going nowhere, just play it out and hope for the best for next year.
Can I just slide something in before our last segment? You know who I'm concerned with?
Who's that?
And you didn't mention him playing today. My fourth son, Russell Wilson. I'm concerned. I don't know what's going on. I hear that he's not playing up to his normal excellence. Is that correct?
Right. He is not playing the way he was expected to play.
You know why I think it is? Just my own observation.
What's your observation?
I'll tell you why he's not playing as good. Now listen up, okay, honey? Because this is deep right here.
Let's make it quick, though.
Okay. Because the altitude and the city is above sea level, and I think that it's difficult for him. It's affecting his respiratory, breathing. I don't think that the physicality of the city doesn't match with the excellence, the par excellence of his performances. And I'm
It has
concerned.
nothing to do with the altitude.
Well,
because
it's altitude.
everybody has to
said
play the same game.
they can't breathe
The
over there.
visiting teams have to
Denver's
breathe
better.
the same air and have
No.
and of course the altitude. That has nothing to do with nothing.
But he's got to breathe a little different because you know why?
Why does he have to breathe any differently
Because
than
he's
anyone
the
else?
quarterback.
Oh, because he's quarterback. All right. On that note, let's get into our last segment called "It's a Beautiful Thing." So take it away, Billy T.
Thank you, sweetheart. This show went fast today. Okay. This segment today, our choice, came to me just yesterday. I had pretty much two different decisions. We'd had two decisions to make. But once again, hands down, when I thought about what this means, today's It's a Beautiful Thing honoree is
Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy, NBC commentator and former NFL player and coach. You know why?
Why is that?
Integrity, authenticity, a man of courage and faith, and a man of you can feel his sincerity. I love it when he's sitting up there with Tarico and Maria, right? Those three are on the set.
Yes.
Did you know what? I knew Maria and Tarico. And I love Coach Dungy. He's gentle, but he knows what he's talking about. He's been through tragedy. He survived, his son's tragedy of his son. And I just love Coach Tony Dungy. So I think he's the kind of guy, actually, that I think, you see Tony walk in your house, hey, Tony.
Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony. He's just that guy you want to be your brother, your uncle. Nice guy. Nice guy. So today we are sending love to Coach Tony Dungy. Okay. Yesterday I made a mistake and said Bungie, but I meant Dungy. Boy. But I love Coach Dungy.
Yes, we all do.
Yes.
I love Coach Dungy.
Wonderful man. Wonderful man.
All right, sweetie.
Okay.
Our time is up. And please, everyone, don't forget to subscribe. Leave some comments. Some good feedback. Just push that button.
Subscribe.
Okay.
And just drop a comment if you would be so kind.
And share on social media.
Okay.
All right. Listen, everyone. Enjoy your games today.
Yes.
And enjoy this Sunday period.
We'll
see you next week. We love you.
We love you for dropping by.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.